Question everything. I don't own the rights to this information from nowhere. But at the end of the day, it must be heard.
Against the company that we have contracted out to take care of the migrants. We have nurses that are being paid $64,000 a month. We have security officers that are being paid as much as $24,000 a month. We have home health care workers that are being paid up to $17,000 a month. You don't think that Chicagoans could have benefited from that? We have citizens in this city that have been on the waiting list for affordable housing for years, and migrants have been bumped in front of them.
I don't own the
We
rights.
have people who have been given up to $9,000 a month for housing assistance. That amount of money can be life-changing for some families here in the city of Chicago. We are not anti-migrant.
This is for public use.
With them. But what I am is I am pro-black. I am for my people.
Pro-black, for our people.
Who have been marginalized, who have been disrespected. And it is disrespectful for people to expect us to give up our parks and our schools and places in our community for others. We're not saying that there's not room here, but what we are saying is that we're not going to set aside for you to accommodate them when you have continued to leave us out of the equation. So I'm not just talking to Brandon Johnson right now. I'm talking to Governor Pritzker, and I'm talking to President White. And I want you to understand that as we run into this upcoming political year, where the Democratic Party is on the menu, hear me. People of Chicago, of Illinois, and of the United States, it is time for us as black people to stop voting party. It is time for us to stop voting color.
No reparations, no peace. No reparation, no liberation. We need our reparations. That's the basis of it. That's the basis of it. That's what it is.
And the country of USA refuses to listen to us, then it is time for us to start looking at other alternatives. People, we are looking at other alternatives. We will not step aside and continue to be mistreated. We will not continue to be disrespected. I'm looking at people who are coming here from another country, given work visas, given social security cards. Nobody is asking them what walk of life that they come from. You don't think that our
But they make you do a background check to get a job, housing.
would benefit from the same opportunities that we're giving these migrants. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve those opportunities, but what I am saying is we deserve them first.
That's right.
What I am saying is you can't continue to put us on the back burner and think that we're going to continue to be okay with it. We've done that for long enough. And what we're saying here today is that it's no longer acceptable. We're saying to our city,
Fair use.
saying to our governor that you're not going to continue to set monies aside for people who don't live here and disrespect, mistreat, and forget about us. You've forgotten about us. You have treated us as if we don't matter. And we're saying to you, you're not going to continue to do this. We're saying to you,
reparations.
You're dumping people into our communities who are going to at some point move us out of the way.
You hear?
We're saying to you, if you want a glimpse into what's going to happen, look at how people of color are being treated in Venezuela right now. We seem to forget that Venezuela was one of the first places that had African slaves that they were taken to. We're forgetting about that.
Put our Aboriginal brothers and sisters right here in America right into POWs, right into bondage.
And so for us to expect that they're going to come here and be put into our society and treat us differently is a pipe dream.
It's Jessica Jackson.
Pipe dream.
And I'm a member of the
This is our sister Jessica Jackson.
On the south side.
Much love to my sister. Fair use rights.
That this problem is bigger than any alderman, that sit in city council. This is an attack on the black community by the Democratic Party, and this is an attack on the citizens of this city.
Attack.
Our rights
To take your communities from you by not giving you no resources, not giving you reparations to be able to bring economic growth to your own community and Aboriginal-owned businesses. Force themselves in our communities.
Into public accommodations.
Force themselves
into schools that could have been open for our children.
The fundings that we fought for, the benefits that we fought for here in this country,
I'm at the city council meetings all the time.
we get the bare minimums of everything that our people struggle to get.
Any Hispanic official, any white official, stand up and say that this is a violation against the civil rights of our citizens in this city, or the citizens in Chicago, in the United States of America. We had an incident day before yesterday with a young man named Michael Young Day, who was doing what many of you are doing right now, filming in a public building in City Hall, filming
Public building, fair use right.
Alderman Greg Mitchell. Greg Mitchell did not like being filmed, and he made an aggressive attack on Michael.
Allegedly.
Michael went to jail. He went to jail because he asked to file a report on Greg Mitchell. Now, we all witnessed a few days before then, when the private community had an attack against that alderman. No arrests were made.
Allegedly.
We all witnessed when the Palestinians were protesting in City Hall about the war between Palestine and Israel. We witnessed them jumping and fight the police. No arrest was made. It's all anchored in the fact that those people, they have a whole different political platform than black people do.
No doubt. In other words, they get treated different
They have embassies
in their country.
The United States is in treaties with these people, all kinds of deals. So America handles them lightly.
So America handles them lightly. In other words, they get benefits from what we done actually protest and put our boots on the ground to get the oppressors off our neck, the colonizers off our necks, and then in turn, the colonizers don't give us the benefits that we actually went out and we protested and boycotted it and pretty much got massacred for. They're giving them to all the illegal immigrants that's coming in and all the immigrants that's coming in, using their plight and to be able to put them ahead of us. And then they're not saying nothing. Dude, $9,000 a month to the immigrants, $7,000 a month to the immigrants, career jobs to the immigrants, and you and I can't get those. They giving you a background check in order for you to get into a position of work, but they ain't giving them no background checks. They coming from wherever from their countries, and they're just putting them into positions of power in our communities at the same time while we're struggling. At the same time while we got brothers and sisters getting mass incarcerated because they impoverished, trying to do survival work in our communities. Because that's what Senator Jessica Ramos called it in New York, survival work. So when they're selling drugs, when they're breaking the law, when they're prostituting, when they're trafficking people, it's survival work. But for us, we're criminals when we're selling drugs, when we're trying to survive the impoverished communities that the colonizers done burnt, beat, whipped, destroyed our communities into, putting us in hoods, ghettos, and slums. Our survival is criminality. But for them, it's survival work. Do y'all see the reality of why we gotta get our reparations? Because reparations breed liberations, and if we can't get reparation, we can't get liberated from our oppressors. These are our oppressors' children. These are not our friends. Say that again. These are oppressors' children. These are not our friends. We are still in the belly of our oppressors, being crushed on our own land as POWs right here in America. And y'all need to get that through your head. And they're weaponizing all these immigrants coming to the country and putting them ahead of you, just like Martin Luther King said way back then. He lost his life for it. How many more of us gotta leave the planet for telling y'all what's really going on for y'all to wake up to this real reality? Because this is what it is. So without reparations, we ain't making no movement. And with that, we definitely appreciate our brothers and sisters that was out there on them streets, boots on ground, speaking on this. Because at the end of the day, it got to be put out there. We got to do something before our children have nothing but private prisons and body bags. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.